Welcome back to the up and down matches. We're in our first group of the day, and it could all end here.
Exactly. The next game is live against the STC, and Wolf is so right. If the STC takes live down, then suddenly we have the two Terran players advancing, and the group will be over with only 4 players. It would all be over in the blink of an eye. But if Life actually wins the next game, then everyone still has a chance of being in Code A or being in Code S. No guarantees.
If the STC wins, it all just ends. Everything goes to 2-0, Ryung and STC. Those are the next 2 matches. Ryung versus STC wouldn't change anything, and Life versus Oz wouldn't change anything either. Neither of the players that were left would be able to make it into the Code S.
Exactly. So will the Terran player be able to win here? Daybreak is the map. And Life looks strong on Cloud Kingdom. A very unorthodox strategy to counter the double barracks proxy build that Ryung used. What is STC going to do? That's the question that will be answered on Daybreak very soon. Most likely not a proxy barracks on this map.
In the chat, the STC is asking him to please not cheese him. And Life is telling him that he's got a few different plans thought about. He doesn't know exactly which one he's going to choose, but he says all of them are pretty cheesy. SEC laughing, of course. We'll see if Oz, or rather if Life is actually going to follow through, or if he's just talking smack in the chat.
You know, I wouldn't put it past him. This guy is sneaky, and he's pretty good, pretty strong. We've seen this. Here we have our 2 players. The game is about to start, ladies and gentlemen. This is the GSL up and downs with Life against the STC, Zerg against Terran, Startel versus Quantic, brought to you by Carl and Wolf. The heat is on, and the StarTel player to the top right, he has to fight for victory. He has to win this battle if he wants to have a shot at Code S. His idea is
StarTel Life.
Very enthusiastic Life fan in this audience, actually.
Yeah, and I can understand why. He's a very young player, but he already shows a lot of potential. He did so in the past. I love how his booth is actually being adjusted while he's on camera and playing.
His booth is moving around, man. His opponent, if he wins this game, the entire group ends. Former OGS player, currently plays for Quantic. His ideas?
Quantic to STC.
Here we have him in his red jersey. Who's gonna take it today? The STC has the chance of finishing things now, of advancing to Code S. With the win, he would have secured himself a spot already. What is Life going to do?
Well, it looks like he's going to go Hatch first so far, and the STC will be doing something similar. He will go for Command Center first. So we're going to see a little bit of a longer opening here for both players. Or if I say longer, they want to go for the late game.
Yeah, well, Life has, of course, a lot of opportunities what he could do in this match. There are a lot of things that he could try to pull off. He said, as you already mentioned in the lobby, that he wants to play a little bit cheesy here. And the STC is starting things with the Command Center first on the high ground, not actually on the low ground, which will guarantee that Life is seeing it, scouting it a little bit slower. The Overlord won't have a quick glimpse at the Command Center being built.
He's not going to know about it, so that's a cool little thing to mention. He's also going gas before barracks, which is quite insane.
Also, one of the things that we should point out here is that Life did not send out a drone to scout. This is something that a lot more Zerg players these days will do because they want to know about the Command Center first so that they can react with another hatch. Life didn't do it, therefore the pool, of course, inevitable as the second building. And as you already pointed out, Wolf, we have the gas before the barracks, playing a really greedy opening here. But if it's not punished, he can actually just put him so far ahead of his opponent already in the early stages.
It looks like it's just not going to be punished either. Life checking for bunkers here, as he sees no Command Center at the natural. Does not send anything to the third base. He has no idea how greedy the SSC is playing. And the SSC with his Command Center placement, everything he's done, actually just puts him so far ahead of Life. Look at this. He's going to be able to make his factory and his orbital at the same time. You can actually make double orbitals and the factory.
Life now had a quick look at the Command Center. He knows that there's an early Command Center. The Overlord was in position, went the extra mile and just walked in there. But now the factory already building, as you just said, the orbitals at the same time. And Life reacts immediately with taking a third base. He knows now there's a very, very early expansion for his opponent. And reaction time.
But you know,
getting
the
his
thing
first.
is, he doesn't know about the fast Hellions yet, and that's exactly what he's thinking. Well, he's got this Commander, so he can't have fast Hellions, so I can take this third base, and then I'm going to be able to hold it really well. But that's not the case. His first 4 Lings are going to come up here, though, and they will see this, so he's going to realize, okay, I need to make sure I have my extra queens and spread my creep over there.
That's really important right now, of course, because if he sends too many of his drones over to the third base and suddenly these Hellions appear out of nowhere and he has the wrong timing in his mind where he thinks, well, he's probably just delayed for another couple of seconds, maybe another 30 or 40 seconds, then he might lose too many harvesters, and now he needs the extra queens, as you said, he needs to spread his creep. He just needs to prepare in order to defend here.
Yeah. SC following up with Banshees, which is quite normal in this matchup. His Commander on the high ground for so long means that he may not be able to maintain constant Hellion production, which could really affect this opening. We'll see how he ends up deciding to use it, though. First 2 Hellions about to pop out here. And life right now is up to 3 queens, just getting the 4th one. No additional queens besides those. The first queen is getting to the third base. He starts the Spine Crawler as soon as that creep is ready.
Yeah, starting those Spine Crawlers at the third. The queens are also in position now, even getting the speed. He's pretty low on harvesters at this point, 30 to 28. He could be, of course, on a lot more drones already, but he needs those extra Zerglings. He needs the lava in order to have a defense ready for these Hellions.
Yeah, and that's exactly what the SC wants to try to force here. By the way, he's going for the Cloak follow-up. So his plan here is to damage the queens and really keep the drones away from mining, and then come in with Banshees to finish the queens off, do a lot of extra damage, force more Spore Crawlers. A great opening to do, especially because it allows you to transition quite smoothly into the third base.
And now the first Banshee is nearly out. We have extra gas being taken by Life, and he's of course just waiting for his speed, but the Hellions move in. He's blocking the ramp at this point though, and the STC is really reluctant to commit to this attack because he does not know what's on the high ground, what is waiting for him. Therefore trying to poke at the third, but the Spine Crawler and the Queen, they are in position.
Yeah, he's going to be able to circumvent that spine since he knows where it is, but Life has not put very many drones here, just playing a little bit safer. Second Queen comes and joins. He's still only got 4 though. And the first Banshee is on the map. He's bringing SCVs, just a few of them with this, to repair his Hellions and also to repair the Banshee. Oh, the Spine Crawler moving at the worst possible time is now. More Hellions come in. So does the Banshee.
But on the other hand, the Queen, is there a... not enough energy for Transfuse. He can't pull it off, and now suddenly the Banshee is giving him trouble. The Spawn Wall, of course, being built. The Lings running in right now, taking down those Hellions, but a good positioner for the STC, taking down most of the Zerglings already. Really well played by the Terra player.
And also getting repairs off here. He's actually going to take out the Spore Crawler with Hellions, so Banshee can get in position. Then he can use the Cloak even more efficiently, and he just traps and kills the Queen. Got to be careful about the Spine Crawler, though. SCV almost taken out.
Yeah, but he still survives and he can repair the Banshee. He needs to be careful here. Of course, the Spore Crawler is still in position. The Spine Crawler being attacked, and Overseer morph so that he can have vision of those Banshees. But at the same time, the STC has a really, really good Harvester lead now with 40 against 41, not a lead, but a very good position for him nonetheless. Live with very many Zerglings now on the map.
Yeah, a few Marines coming in here to help out, and he micros the weakened Banshee back, is repairing it. This will allow him to take out the Queen no matter what, but he's got to be careful of the Spore Crawler as well. Meanwhile, a Ling run by at the natural.
The Queen dies, the Ling run by, wow, is taking down so many Harvesters. Where are the Hellions? Look at this, Life is making this work. This was such a beautiful decision, not only going for the defense here, but going for the run by. And all of those SCVs are just screwed. They have no chance. Look at Life. Wow, 17 Harvesters killed. And guys, even though he killed so many Zerglings with the Hellions, the STC only killed 1 drone.
Yep, only 1, and now there are a total of 36 Lings on the map ripping through these depots. The STC's got no wall, he's got no mining. If the Hellions move down for a second, he will kill them. Yeah, he can kill all these Lings with Banshees, but it's going to take way too long.
Exactly, and they can just run away heavily. Well, not really heavily supply block, but he doesn't have this buffer anymore.
He doesn't have a wall, he doesn't have the supply buffer, he's in an uncomfortable place in so many ways. Infestation Pit's finishing up here. Life has now got the ability to drone up, and he does. 8 of them on the way.
Really well defended by Life. He lost a lot of Zerglings when the Hellions were able to hide behind the mineral patches, but disregarding these Zerglings that were lost, Life played a great game, didn't lose too much at his expansion, he didn't lose his hatch, he didn't lose too many Harvesters, only 1, and this Zergling run by really did a number on the STC. He's down to 33 Harvesters against 61, and has to lift his third base too.
There's 3 Hellions here, but that's not even quite enough. He's got to micro those perfectly, and so far he does not. Just barely gets away. That was a close call.
running in once again, trying to kill additional harvesters. Oh, the Marines are in trouble here.
Yeah, they are. The Harvester's losing more and more mining time. +2 is on the way already for Life's Lings, whereas 1-1 is just about to finish for the STC.
Life just not afraid to commit to these run-by attacks. And yes, he lost the Zerglings, but he tried to take a bit of a chance here. Denied mining for quite a while and trying to get into the main base, which was denied by STC, just lifting one of his depots. But right now the game is starting to stabilize once again a little bit. Life has the lead overall supply. He has a great tech with his Infestors now being built, Pathogen Glands just finishing. And already the +2 attack upgrade on the way. Getting the second evolution chamber, and the STC doing basically the same. Trying to push his harvester count up to a decent amount, and at the same time denying creep, but those Zergling run-bys are really something that he has to learn to deal with.
Yeah, he has to account for these in some way. He needs to put a bunker down or something. He needs to definitely lift that command center. And oh, gets bungled here. Will get bungled a second time. There's just too many Infestors. He's going to get chain bungled. He gets bungled once more. No Infested Terrans to help out, so he's forced to. Actually, he didn't even cancel. He lost the hatchery and may lose an Infestor. Oh, wow. He just doesn't have it.
The Lings once again trying to run by. Still no mining at the third base for the STC. The Infestors not with the energy that they need to fungal again and take down the Banshee.
You know what? Keldor, he's actually killed 4 Overlords with this Viking as well. Takes out another Queen. Could have taken out more Infestors, did not. But the STC has stabilized that his third base is going to kill the Lings finally once more. And even though Life is still ahead, the STC has stabilized quite a bit. His 2-2 upgrades are coming out. He's getting combat shields.
He nearly lost his command center though. Yeah, that's one of the things that definitely happens here. Takes down the Harvesters, and that's the Harvester 1 LCV, that's definitely worth it. And right now the Harvester count still highly in favor of Life. And Life is still looking stronger. You're right that the STC is now just trying to close the gap between the two players, but Life is still in a comfortable position. The question now, of course, with those burrowed Infestors being on the move is, how much damage will they do?
Yeah, there's no turret in play. He's just now starting it, just a few seconds too late, in fact. Will the STC see this? You know, you can see moving Infestors on the ground if you have a keen eye. Turret is about to finish. He waited a long time. Oh, wow, this is so close. Oh, and he sees the turret. He just unburrows and fungals.
Nice, well done here. A second fungal hits home and he moves back. Doesn't even lose a single Infestor. Is he using... Oh, he's moving in with the Zerglings. Another fungal. Only 3.
But now he's trapped and there's siege tanks here. This may be a mistake.
He's trying to death fungal the rest of the Marines using a few Infested Terrans, but it's a little bit too late already.
Yeah, a scan comes out. He's going to lose every Infestor here. This is actually great for the SC, but the problem is another run-by is at the third. He needs to lift it. He does. He will lose several SCVs, though.
This is getting a real problem for the STC. He needs something at this third base to make sure that he finally has mining.
You know, if he just has one bunker, this just buys him so much time. A great burrowed Zergling by Life as well here at the third is going to force him to scan again before he can land that command center.
And this is just annoying. You need to sacrifice so much energy, and at this point he doesn't even have the energy. He has to wait
20 more in-game seconds before he can have a scan at either of his orbitals.
Life just showing that he is a great player. This Viking becoming a problem, of course, already 5 Overlord kills, but still, Life in a pretty comfortable lead. He has the 4th base too, and now his Hive Tech is halfway done. The Spire is about to be ready, and this is just the StarTale player showing his late game skills.
Yeah, finally a turret goes up at that base, but that's still not going to be very useful against actual fungals. He's got 1 tank in position. His Marines need to stay back, though.
1 tank is not going to be enough as soon as the Zerglings commit. And here we go.
Here they come, and the fungals so far are good. He just hits every single one of them patiently here.
The Marines are about to die. This third base is under pressure. Can he fungal again? He needs more Zerglings, though. They are running into the natural right now. And a mass fungal on all of those Marines. The Zerglings running in from both ends, going into the third and the natural.
He's going to keep all of his Infestors alive. That's the most important thing here. As, you know, the STC is not going to be killed by this. But as long as he keeps the Infestors alive, if he loses SCVs, he has to lift his orbital. It's more and more mining time lost.
This orbital spends more time in the air than it does on the ground. The Zerglings even in the main base right now with so many run-bys. Life is putting on pressure. And the STC is really starting to struggle, especially with his mineral patches nearly gone in the main base. He needs this third.
He really does. The Lings burrow again to deny him. Now, one concern for the STC, or rather for Life, is that the STC does have 4 Siege Tanks on the map now with +1. He's about to have +3 for his Marines as well. It's going to put him ahead in upgrades, and this is something that Life will have to be very careful against. But with all the Infestors he has on the map, he can buy so much time. He has 16 Infestors, and even with the tanks out for the STC, it's going to be hard for him to actually move forward with careful, patient fungals, and he's just going to go for a run by again.
Here we go again, trying. Oh, great fungal. Does he get off the second one? No, not just
quite
yet.
Yep.
It's actually quite funny. Oz and Ryang were standing next to us the entire time, and both of them were rooting for a different player. Oz needs Life to win here, but of course Ryang wants the STC to win this, because then he doesn't have to play anymore. Then he's guaranteed a spot in Code S. Both of them watching the screen intently, and here comes Life again with a fungal.
Fungals are decent here. He's going to lose a few Infestors though, and he's not able to really do damage. The Lings in the main are a bigger problem.
Yeah, they are taking down more SCVs as we speak, and by now 44 SCVs have been killed by Life over the course of this game. The Greater Spire is about to finish. At the bottom right, we have a 5th base now established for Life. This guy is showcasing his skill, but the STC, he is still in this game. He still holds.
He still holds, man. He is showing a lot of patience in a situation where some players would have just died.
He took a huge amount of blows, but he is still alive and kicking. Yes, he's behind, but he is trying to make this happen. And now, once again, the Zerglings in the mineral line taking down SCVs. What a fungal! A beautiful fungal on those SCVs. All of them die. The harvester count for the SCC is now down to 45 against 80.
And the Brewlords are going to be the nail in the coffin here, most likely. They're just not even that far away from the third. He can start to use them. The Viking count is at 1. He still has only that one Viking that's at the bottom of the map right now with 5 kills. If he can catch these Brewlords out in the open, though, maybe, just maybe, he actually gets to win this fight, but no, the fungals are too good.
Those fungals were amazing. The army clumped up, and here comes Life again. The STC dropping below 100 supply, and Life closing the distance with the Broodlords. The Vikings, there are not enough of them. Now the Infested Terrans, they spawn, and the Antia is gone in seconds.
Now the tanks having to pull back here. Broodlings grabbing on. Great position now for a few seconds with the Marines as there's no fungals, but as the fungals come back here, there's just nothing to do for the STC. The Broodlings stream in. He's taking out the siege tanks. The Vikings dead air. GG.
Life takes down the STC, is now on 1-1, and therefore we will have additional games in this group. Life has still a shot. Every single player in this group still has a shot at Code S. But the STC, why no bunkers at the third?
Yeah.
One bunker would have changed this game.
Absolutely. Life really showing great play though. Absolute patience with his Infestors. Never losing them. Constantly able to build up the required energy to move forward. And I think that's really what won him this game. He's just so patient with his Infestors. Once you get up to 16 Infestors, it doesn't matter how many Marines the STC can make. They're cost-efficient units, but only if they can fight. You know, with that many Infestors, the Marines could not fight.
Right now we are waiting for our Terran versus Terran. Ryang versus the STC is going to be the next match, and the result of this will only determine if Ryang will advance to Code S. Yes. Well, actually that's not quite true. Let me I need to have a quick look at the results once again. Of course, now we have still the opportunity of having a 3-way tie for the Code S spot. So yeah, I need to have a quick look at that, but first of all, we need to wait for our 2 players to get ready here. Ryang with a win here can get into Code S. That's of course for sure at this point.
Yeah. If he loses though, I will put him on 2-1, the STC on 1-2, and then Life versus Oz will not affect that, but well, yeah, then if Life beats Oz, then Life and Ryang will go to Code S, I believe.
Yeah, the thing is, if Ryang wins right now, he will go on 3-0, and then the match between Life and Oz will determine a lot.
Yes.
Life can go to Code S if he takes the game. If he loses, there will be a tie between these players in the loser
Loser situation.